General Hospital spoilers for Friday, March 28, reveal that Christina Corinthos Davis will sabotage Rick Lansing's vehicle by mistake, while Drew Quartermaine shares his side of the story. Sasha Gilmore Corbin will also deliver a warning, so let's talk about what's ahead in Port Charles. For starters, Drew will sense that Curtis Ashford has turned Kai Taylor against him. That's why Drew will push for a chance to explain his side of things and hope to change Kai's perspective. At GH, Tracy Quartermaine will tell Elizabeth Baldwin that Monica Quartermaine is in complete agreement with her. It's rare for Tracy and Monica to be on the same page, but they'll both be standing against Drew and all the Quartermaine crypt drama on Friday's episode. Speaking of the Quartermaine crypt, it looks like Ezra Boyle will be ready to get a crew to demolish it following Drew's demand. Ezra will tell Giovanni Gio Palmieri, Emma Drake, and Trina Robinson that there's nothing anybody can do to stop this, but Emma will do something extreme and try to prove him wrong. Over with Anna Devane, she'll spend some time mulling over the past on Friday's show. Anna may reflect on some regrets regarding her history, and ultimately make some predictions regarding her future. At Charlie's Pub, Lucky Spencer will give Lulu Spencer updates on his weekend getaway with Elizabeth. Lulu may worry Liz, and Lucky's reunion is moving too fast since he'll get the feeling his sister thinks this is a bad idea. As for Sasha, she'll warn someone that they can't tell anyone they saw it. That might involve proof of Jen Sidwell's payment following their arrangement, or something baby-related that Sasha wants to keep under wraps. Sasha has to be careful when it comes to the paternity secret she's protecting, so she'll try to stay vigilant about that. At Ava Jerome's apartment, she'll trade threats with Christina as their latest argument heats up. After Christina vows to stop Ava, she'll make a vengeful move that'll end in disaster. Rick is parked in Ava's usual parking space, so Christina will assume that's Ava's vehicle when she targets it. Christina will apparently tamper with Rick's car by mistake, and to make matters worse, Elizabeth will eventually end up traveling with him. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Messy Syrup. It's me, Abby here. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Keep watching, so let's dive into today's video. General Hospital spoilers reveal that Willow Corinthos may say 4 surprising words when Nina Reeves confesses her Drew Quartermaine fling. Willow may not have the reaction Nina anticipated, at least not at first. GH fans know Ned Quartermaine recently considered the idea of using Drew's past hookups with Nina as leverage. However, Tracy Quartermaine suggested Drew was far too stubborn to let himself get blackmailed. Instead, Tracy wanted to save that information and hold it over Nina somewhere down the line. There'll surely come a point when Tracy and Ned will need some power over Nina, so it makes sense to sit on this secret and use it at the perfect moment. That said, there's no guarantee Nina will surrender to Ned and Tracy's demands when the time comes. Tracy and Ned may push for something outrageous, so Nina might find herself fed up and ready to come clean. It's possible Nina will opt to confess to Willow, especially if she makes a prediction about this info finally turning her daughter against Drew. Nothing else has worked, so Nina might get desperate enough to spill about sleeping with Drew repeatedly behind closed doors. These Nina hookups happened while Drew was busy falling for Willow and pulling her closer, so Nina may insist he's never been the man he claims to be. That's when Willow could say those 4 surprising words we mentioned. I don't believe you. Willow might shock Nina by going into denial and accusing her mom of making this up as a last resort. After all, Willow urged Nina to save her excuses during a confrontation at Drew's house recently. When Willow first found Nina there, she insisted that she wouldn't believe whatever Nina had to say. It's interesting that Willow's initial reaction was to disbelieve any story Nina might try to spin. That may have been setting up Willow's denial when Nina ultimately admits her fling with Drew. Of course, Willow will have to accept that Nina's telling the truth, particularly once people like Ned, Tracy, Cody Bell, and others on Canvas back up the story. General Hospital spoilers say Willow's in for a rude awakening soon or later, so stay tuned to watch her get updates on some horrifying news. General Hospital spoilers and updates reveal intrigue surrounding Drew Quartermain's medical records is heating up. What schemes is Portia Robinson concocting, and how is she planning to use Drew's private patient information? In the episode aired on March 21, Portia found herself deep in thought as she examined Drew's medical records in her office. The gears were clearly turning in her mind as she sifted through the folder labeled Patient, prominently featuring Drew's name. While Portia has been accommodating Drew's requests and even supported him during the press conference, she is eager to escape this blackmail predicament. Although Drew currently holds the advantage, it's evident that Portia is plotting something that could shift the balance. Unbeknownst to her, Jordan Ashford later entered her office and noticed the file resting on her desk. The preview video for March 24 features Ava Jerome raising concerns, likely after catching wind of Portia's ambitious scheme, or at least picking up on some clues. In the footage, Ava cautions Portia against allowing fear to drive her into making foolish decisions. It's evident that Ava is apprehensive about Portia's plan to retaliate against Drew and shift the dynamics in her favor. This strategy has the potential to backfire dramatically, prompting Ava to issue a warning in an effort to dissuade Portia from pursuing a course of action that could exacerbate the situation. Despite this, Portia appears resolute in her quest to assert her dominance and put Drew in his rightful place. The introduction of the medical file angle by GH writers suggests it has significant implications, but what direction is it heading? Does Portia intend blackmail? Portia's behavior hints that she may have uncovered something that Drew would prefer to keep hidden, something she could use against him like a fire-fighting fire situation. There could be a medical concern that, if revealed, might cast doubt on Drew's mental competence or his qualifications as a congressman. Or Portia might consider manipulating Drew's medical records to fit her own objectives, a dangerous move, but Portia has shown a willingness to manipulate the system when she's in a tight spot. Another possibility is that her findings could unveil that Drew is not who he claims to be at all, and the man who was rescued from Cassadine Island isn't Drew at all. General Hospital spoilers strongly predict that Michael Corinthos is going to return to this fictional town of Port Charles sooner rather than later. And the first thing that he's going to do is demand full custody of the two children that he shares with Willow, W. Eiley, and Amelia. As many General Hospital fans can remember, Willow and Drew were basically getting it on while Michael was literally burning. And it's not that Michael wants to take the kids' way out of revenge, but he probably realizes just how brainwashed Willow is. In fact, everyone in Port Charles sees it except for her. As our viewers can imagine, General Hospital fans on the internet certainly did have a lot to say about the matter. Some even commented with, "Yeah, Michael went to prison as a teenager, he's a grown adult now. Very big difference, and being mob-affiliated, yeah. He can't help who his father is, and Michael has always distanced himself from Sonny's world, especially working at Aurora and at ELQ." Another fan wrote, "The standard is best interests of the children. The woman is assumed to have a better bond with the children. Willow was in cult, but Mikey went to prison, and he is mob-affiliated, and all but one of his exes have died under strange circumstances." And then there was this comment as well. The fact that Willow, the mother, basically destroyed her family by cheating on her husband Michael with his own Uncle Drew. Now she's shacking up with said uncle and moved his and Willow's children into that house, all the while Michael, the father, is recovering in a burn unit in another country in Germany. Now, whether or not Michael even has a chance in court remains to be seen, but there's a good chance he will fight anyway. Of course, General Hospital fans will have to tune in each and every day to find out what will happen next. General Hospital airs weekdays on the ABC network. Check your local listings for times. General Hospital spoilers reveal that Willow Corinthos may say 4 surprising words when Nina Reeves confesses her Drew Quartermain fling. Willow may not have the reaction Nina anticipated, at least not at first. GH fans know Ned Quartermain recently considered the idea of using Drew's past hookups with Nina as leverage. However, Tracy Quartermain suggested Drew was far too stubborn to let himself get blackmailed. Instead, Tracy wanted to save that information and hold it over Nina somewhere down the line. There'll surely come a point when Tracy and Ned will need some power over Nina, so it makes sense to sit on this secret and use it at the perfect moment. That said, there's no guarantee Nina will surrender to Ned and Tracy's demands when the time comes. Tracy and Ned may push for something outrageous, so Nina might find herself fed up and ready to come clean. It's possible Nina will opt to confess to Willow, especially as she makes a prediction about this info finally turning her daughter against Drew. Nothing else has worked, so Nina might get desperate enough to spill about sleeping with Drew repeatedly behind closed doors. These Nina hookups happened while Drew was busy falling for Willow and pulling her closer, so Nina may insist he's never been the man he claims to be. That's when Willow could say those 4 surprising words we mentioned. I don't believe you. Willow might shock Nina by going into denial and accusing her mom of making this up as a last resort. After all, Willow urged Nina to save her excuses during a confrontation at Drew's house recently. When Willow first found Nina there, she insisted that she wouldn't believe whatever Nina had to say. It's interesting that Willow's initial reaction was to disbelieve any story Nina might try to spin. That may have been setting up Willow's denial when Nina ultimately admits her fling with Drew. General Hospital spoilers suggest that Willow Corinthos will return to Michael Corinthos. Willow has been sleeping around with Drew Quartermain. However, spoilers suggest that Willow will definitely come crawling back to Michael begging forgiveness. Here is why we believe she will pursue a reunion with Michael. Drew has attempted to sweep Willow off her feet while she was doubting her husband. Of course, Drew paid attention to Willow while Michael was otherwise occupied. Michael has a complicated life, especially when it comes to Sonny Corinthos, and he doesn't allow Willow to know most of that. Willow and Michael have only tried to protect each other. They didn't maliciously keep secrets. Michael tried to give Willow anything her heart desired. Unfortunately, Willow preferred to look for greener grass, which wasn't necessarily her best option as she found out. Willow will soon see just how stupid she was to blow up her marriage for a person like Drew. Obviously, the paternity truth about Sasha's baby will come out. Of course, Willow will be angry with Michael, although she is the reason this happened. However, Willow will likely blame Sasha more than Michael. Willow will no doubt accuse Sasha of seducing Michael, even though that isn't what happened at all. One thing is for sure, Willow isn't going to allow Sasha and her child to have Michael. Willow will make sure to find a way to reunite with Michael just to keep that from happening. Eventually, Michael will recover and come back home. Willow will make sure she is the one waiting when he does. After all, Sasha wants to raise this baby alone. Willow is going to have 2 children who want their daddy back in their lives. Wiley Corinthos and Amelia Corinthos are not likely to be too happy with Drew as their new daddy. Once things fall apart, Willow will see the error in her ways and want her family back together. Chances are Willow will feel bad for messing up her children's lives by leaving their father. Willow will certainly want to put her family back together if Sasha chooses to allow Michael to be a father to their child. Willow won't give Sasha that chance to be with the kids the way Drew was. Willow may finally start using her head and realizes that everyone has been right about Drew all along. Will Willow finally wake up to the truth about Drew? We've done the match. Never our strong suit, we know, and added up the intel available in this week's General Hospital preview and this week's spoilers for the show, and come to a bone-chilling conclusion. Not 1 but 2 characters may be about to die. On one end of the canvas, we have Sonny, who we know is about to be floored once again by his heart issues, and who should happen upon the scene but Ava, who'd like nothing better than to stop Avery's father from threatening her and their custody agreement at every turn. Ava has within reach the pills that Sonny needs to get back on his feet, but will she withhold them, or perhaps make him an offer that he can't refuse? On the surface, it's silly to even speculate that General Hospital would let Sonny pair angel wings with his trademark dimples. Virtually since the day that he joined the show, Morris Bernard has resided on the front burner, but it's worth noting that the actor has been talking about retiring. Now then, on the other end of the canvas, we have Christina, who is so hell-bent on blaming Ava for the death of her Molly/TJ unborn child that it appears she cuts the femme fatale's brakes. Only it also looks like it isn't Ava who's behind the wheel when a crash occurs. It's Rick, is that you? And with Elizabeth. Yeah, the smart money is on Liz being in the wrong car at the wrong time. At the tail end of the promo, we hear Lucky frantically asking Christina what she's done. We don't figure he'd be nearly that upset if it had just been Rick who was injured. But would the show really kill off Rebecca Herb's character right when she is on the verge of reuniting with Lucky, and when the actress and Jonathan Jackson still spark as brightly as ever? Drop your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you agree or disagree? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more updates. Your opinions matter, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you.